Hey you guys, it's Jet888 here. It's the 11th of August, 8/11. I just am bringing this to your attention. This is a snake plant, or they call it a mother-in-law's tongue. I think that's funny, but I'm only paying attention to this poor little plant today because a couple years ago I brought it into my house because I did hear that it kind of helped clean the oxygen. But tonight is the first time I've ever seen these little plants bloom, and the smell is amazing. It's almost like a jasmine, but just more pungent even. And I noticed even it has this sweet little, and it is sweet because I tasted it. It's a little dew sappy stuff, but it's really sweet. So I went and did a little bit more research. I have many of these guys, and I put them in my computer room. So I just read about the many benefits of it, and I'll share these with you real quick. So here's a little bit better picture of these delicate little flowers that they smell amazing. And this is the first time I've ever seen these on this little plant. But I have two plants that have it. Otherwise, I would have thought that maybe it was another little rogue flower that came in here. But my gosh, it smells so nice. And there's little dew on there is really sweet. So here's a little article, and I'll link this to you too because it's interesting, and I'll go over this really quickly. But the plant itself is called Sansevieria, known as the snake plant. And here it is in its entirety. The leaves can be a little bit more narrow too. So it states that the Sansevieria contains pregnane glycoside, and that is able to decompose toxic compounds into organic ones. And organic compounds can be easily decomposed compared to non-organic ones. This states snake plants can as well decompose toxic substances such as carbon dioxide, benzene, formaldehyde or dihyd, chloroform, and tricotyledone. And because I'll leave the link, I'm not going to go super deep into this, but it absorbs pollution. This article states there's 107 pollutants that can be absorbed. The absorbed pollutants will be converted into oxygen by the plants. They absorb smoke from cigarettes. One good thing here, and I will read this, it says absorbs radiation. Snake plants are actively helping in absorbing radiation. Radiation that is caused by electronic devices is an example of radiation that can be absorbed by plants. So you all might want to start investing in some of these. It is suggested to put the plants in the living room or in areas which has a television or other electronic devices, or better yet, just turn off your television, but I know some people can't. Besides beautifying the area, they can also act as radiation absorbers. I'm sure that meant to say, in the area. They produce lots of oxygen. Okay, above it says it can be used as a little fence because it's strong and pointy, can be used as woven craft material, possesses a unique scent, which it does. It's beautiful smelling. So of course it can be used as aromatherapy. So basically producing a unique scent. Some people use the scent to make them relax and reduce stress, which I think a lot of us can use. They can be used as an antiseptic. So I would think that you'd probably squish it up and put it on a wound or something, or you can make a decoction out of it, like a tea, hot boiling water poured over some of this. It says it can be used as a hair tonic, so it's a hair smoother. So apparently you can consume these too, because it says it can cure hemorrhoids, and it says it can be used to soften stool because they're high fiber. The only reason, or I guess the only way you could get that is by consuming it. So cures headaches. Headache is considered a minor disease. However, it's really disturbing since it can hinder us in doing our daily activities. And it doesn't go into much detail, but it says we can use roasted Sansevieria to stop the headache. I guess you roast it and use it as a tea, but I'm not sure. You'd have to look into this yourself. reduce diabetes risk. And this mentions that it can lower your blood sugars when the levels are too high. It says we can consume the decoction. So that is like you take boiling water and pour it on the plant. Maybe even boil the plant in the water a little bit. And probably because it's so tough, you would have to boil it a little bit to get the properties out. So it says we can consume the decoction of the snake plants. And it basically will help the airflow in a plant, in a building. So, when people overuse air conditioning or whatever. So, because it cleans the air, I can imagine why that would be helpful. About 4 years ago, I took a teeny little plant like this and divided it all up. And now I have like 8 of these. And I had no idea that they were so beneficial. I knew that they cleaned the air, but I didn't know. And what's interesting is in my computer room, I put one on either side of me. So that's obviously has probably helped. And I don't know why I did that, but maybe just aesthetics, but it seemed to help out. So look into this little plant yourself, because it's got a lot more healing benefits and properties than I ever knew. And see that little dewdrop there? It's super sweet. Anyhow, it's interesting to know, and I'll pay a little bit more attention to this plant. I feel bad that I wasn't as giving it as much attention to it, but it's very hardy, and I also have it outside. But I'm going to plant more of them, knowing about the radiation protection, because I have a huge cell tower outside my house. I think a lot of you guys may have seen it before. Anyhow, I'll leave it here. So mother-in-law's plant or the snake plant. Bye, you guys.